Hello, what we're going to cover is basic shapes today. So I want you to look around the room at you, and what are you seeing? You would have objects that have circles, rectangles, squares, triangles, and a combination of those things. So to think of a circle, you could maybe think of a clock, obviously like a bouncy ball, a marble, an orange. But then there's other things that we could see that are circles also. So think of some foods. So if we had some pizza, that would be the main shape. And then if we cut it into our slices, that then could be triangles. So for this worksheet, what I'm going to have you do is draw items that are made of circles. And you can draw on the outside of them or the inside of them or both of them. And then you will be coloring them. You can make them animals, foods, objects that we use every day, or maybe it could be large structures that we would see, but the main shape is a circle shape. So if we were to look at this, since I said a clock earlier, we could draw a circle around to just get a little border for our clock here. And then the important things is the hands of the clock. So we could do something like this. And then that would be telling us what time it is. You could put the numbers on it also. And then if you wanted to, you could just do the notches here. And then you're going to either take colored pencils or markers and then color the object. If you wanted to, you could turn this clock into a watch. And how could you do that? So some simple shapes that we could add on would be some rectangles or something. Some little curved parts to start with, and then you would put the strap of your watch on and everything. So another one I had said was pizza. So you would draw, and this would be, you know, for the circle pan pizza, not, you know, the rectangle pizza that you can get. And then a lot of people automatically go into drawing all the divisions of our pizza. And it could be, you know, very proportionate. Sometimes it seems when I get pizza anymore, we have a much large triangle and a little tiny one, so you could go that way. Common pizza we could do is pepperoni pizza. Have all different types of shapes on here. So if we were doing, you know, mushrooms or peppers, those would be a little bit different depending on what type of pizza you like. Could just be a cheese pizza, and then you would color it, you know, the crust and the cheese and whatever toppings that you have here. We could do with these two black dots here. They could be lots of things. They could be cherries. We could make wheels for maybe like a monster truck. Some sunglasses if we do here, and would draw some lines here. Headphones, you have your earbuds, but you could do the headphones that has the big part that you wear on the top of your head. So there's lots of options for those. And then other ones that we could do is food items. So I kind of liked the idea for cherries. So I could make these with, you know, just the stem and a leaf. And they are black, so we wouldn't have to color them red, but we could do, since it was two right next to each other, maybe I'm just going to put some red around the outside, so it's just kind of showing what it would be. If we would think of maybe this could be a steering wheel, it could be a dime, a quarter, a nickel. We could have, like I said, a marble. We could think of foods. So if I would do, say, this one, and make a rectangle here, and I would put a swirl here, we just got a sucker. If we wanted to go a little bit with more details, we could do something like that, and that would show that it has a wrapper on it. So there's lots of types that we could do here. We could make this a Skittle with an S. We could make it M&Ms. what are some other candies that you could think of that start with this circle shape? We could do different types of flowers. We could do cartoon characters. One of the main cartoon characters, what are you thinking of? Mickey Mouse is what comes to my mind when I think of it. Circle, it could be Minnie Mouse, so you would change that up. And there's some circles there, but if we did Minnie, it'd be just like you would add the little bow. There are other things, a lot of planets I see. It could be a sun image, a happy face. You could do an emoji face, but only do a couple. I don't want the entire page to be emoji faces. A turtle, an eyeball. So if I would do something like this, we could start sketching in an eyeball here. And then put the lid over it. And then you could start giving it some eyelashes here. And then color this part in. Let's just go to some colored pencils here. So we could start coloring this in. And then the inside part is where we would want to grab the black colored pencil. And you could use colored pencils or markers. I don't care which one you use to color the things. I'm going to go in here. And I would do some more eyelashes than what I'm already doing here. Maybe go back in here, add some little touches to the eye. And you could have an eyeball like that. You could make them, this little tiny one down here, you can make it a snail if you wanted to. I've seen if we would give something 8 legs, you know, versus 6 legs, what type of creature could it be? We could have spiders, we could have ladybugs, we could have, what are some other things? Fish. I've seen if we would just even, like I said, ears earlier, you could do little tiny ears here. And it could be the start of a what? It could be, you know, a bear if we made it pointier. What other types of animals? Versus if we had big floppy ears here. So if I did this one, we could have something go off the page a little bit. But I could do, say here, and just starting that. But what I was thinking was, it could be a cartoon character if I did it, you know, the big eyes like that and then left ones like this. And then we have a circle nose, so I could do something like that. So what type of creature is that making it? If I had a little triangle nose here, and let's just make it pink. And then went in with some triangle ears. And we could go back to the cartoony eyes, but we could do eyes. Or you could do the big eyes, so it looks like they have some eyelashes or some big cartoony eyes. It's, you know, up to you where you're going with this. We could do a little nose like this. And I'm just putting combos here so you can kind of just see how ideas are. If we had, you know, if you wanted, like this could start to be a bear, but you would change the nose to something different. This could be, I had said, let's go with this one. Let's do a little goldfish here. So I could do maybe an eye there and its little fin here. And then we would do, you know, you could make this a fishbowl and put the fish inside of it if you wanted to go that way. And if something goes into something else, you can just not continue drawing. That's fine. And give it here. Give it some little bubbles. Maybe we want it to be kind of a clownfish, so you could have that white through there. maybe a black lines. Since I had a pink one earlier, we could do, and I was doing this, let's just do a big one here. And then I'm going to just kind of stick with the cartoon. But if I would do pointy ears on this one, could start to be a pig and give it some big nostrils here. And I would be coloring all this stuff in. If I wanted, though, I could do even the shape of something here. I'm just going to do some more out this way. And I could do some little legs here. And a little curly tail. And get our little pointy ears. And get a little pig that way. You know, give it an eyeball and everything. Add some lines. We'll give it. Angry Birds would be a good one that you could use circles on. Baseball. One that I always like is, we were talking about foods with the pizza. If I would draw just a circle here, and then kind of a wavy line around the edge of this. Color this part brown. And then I could color this pink and then put little dashes on it. That could be a donut that way. We could also have other foods that if we're looking down on it. We could have a little thing like this and still do the wavy line. And I color all that in. And I could change that up with then I'd color this maybe a light brown or something. And then just do a zigzag around this. And I would be coloring all this in and go all the way around. And it'd be like we're looking down on a cupcake or something. If you say I would just color one brown, and then if I did a dark brown, little marks in it and everything, chocolate chip cookie. So there's tons of things around us that just have the basic shape of a circle. We could even do some flowers. You could make this a sunflower if we would start with, you know, pointy petals this way. It's kind of hard to see since it's yellow here. So I'm just gonna go outline this, and I'm only going to do a couple, but so you can start seeing how if I was putting these all together, it would start making a flower. And then I could color this, you know, whatever the center part of the flower would be. What I could also do though is see how this is starting to make an ears of an animal or something. So it maybe, you know, what's an animal that has some pointy ears like that? The one that comes to mind for me is Bugs Bunny. So obviously the ears wouldn't be yellow. I would be making them a gray color instead. So think of things that are circles. You're going to fill this entire page with all different types of things. So don't make them all the same things. And this is part 1 of the front of the worksheet for your circles. So entire page of circle objects and color them.